Once again, welcome everyone to UNT Virtual Preview. This academic interest session is being hosted by the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences and will cover the humanities majors. It is my pleasure to introduce Robin Gillespie, Senior Academic Advisor of class. Robin.
Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm glad that you were able to make it today. Again, from what Winston said, this is the humanities group. So this includes the philosophy and religion department, the English department, world languages, literatures and cultures, Spanish, history, and integrative studies and social sciences. We're going to begin this morning with the philosophy and religion PowerPoint presentation. And one of our advisors, Shakori Cole, we'll go ahead and discuss what's required for the religion major and the philosophy major. Oh, I think.
Morning, everyone. I'm here to talk about the philosophy religion major. So, philosophy religion definitely is a great major to pursue at UNT. It definitely gives you a lot of different career skills, and also helps you learn more about learn more about yourself, learn more about your community, and just how to interact with different cultures around you as well. So the philosophy majors doesn't require that many credit hours per major. So it's about 30 hours for philosophy, and I believe about 33 hours for the religion major. So the philosophy major does give you a lot of different transferable skills, so like critical thinking. You'll be able to learn more about different writing skills and argumentative skills and in different nature. And then those transferable skills are going to help you be able to get into almost any type of career field that's out there for you. So a lot of our students go into like the ministry field, so like church, being like the clergy or anything. Some of our students go into like social services, some go into pre-law. A lot of students go into politics. So you have a lot of different array of career fields out there for you. So a couple of our achievements is that we have the world's leading program in environmental philosophy. We also do offer like a lot of different research opportunities for students. So we have our philosophy of food research project going on, and also our philosophy of water project as well. We are internationally acclaimed program in the philosophy of science and technology. And then we also offer a lot of opportunities for you to travel and also study in like South Chile and also India for our study abroad opportunities for the major. And then the religion major, that one is definitely going to get more toward the world religions that we have. So like South Asian religions, Judaism. We also talk about Islam within that, Christianity, Buddhism. So like a good array of different world religions for you. A couple of achievements for that department is that we are one of the only two religion majors in the public universities in Texas. We definitely have an interdisciplinary curriculum for that major, so you won't just have to do classes just in philosophy. So you'll be able to pull from knowledge from the philosophy department, the history department, the anthropology department, the English department, political science, and also art history as well for you. And then a lot of the curriculum that would definitely be emphasized for the global issues and perspectives of the world religions.
Thank you, Shakori. And then we'll also have the next presentation will be Dr. Like speaking on behalf of the English department.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Dr. Like, the faculty advisor for the English department. And if you've ever had any chances to look at our website, we do have a dedicated website. Just Google English UNT and you're going to come up with our departmental website. But one thing you may have noticed, if you haven't noticed it yet, you will notice that because English is at UNT is such a broad category, we have so many diverse voices, we will ask that you pick one of 4 concentrations. Now, overall, if you just think, man, I love English, I like reading, I like writing, and I like thinking and talking about all those things, you can't go wrong with any of the 3 more general concentrations. We have the writing and rhetoric concentration. And so that one gives you plenty of opportunity to explore what goes into even thinking about putting that first word on a piece of paper. Intense work in rhetorical theory, lots of time spent, like I said, talking about what makes writing a thing that we do. A lot of our writing and rhetoric people go on to graduate school. It's a really great pre-law training. It's also a concentration that many students who are interested in editing and publishing will go into. Now, if you like writing and you are less interested in the theory side, the creative writing concentration could work well for you. Many of our creative writers are not only interested in doing their own writing, publishing their own work, but also interested in working in careers in publishing and editing as well. So the creative writing concentration is going to ask that you take kind of a combination of literature to give you that grounding in, what has come before you, and creative writing classes. Now, if you're thinking, okay, I really think I like writing, I really think I like some creative writing, but I also love the reading, then the literature concentration may be for you, because that's also going to give you a lot of space to play with rhetoric, to play with some creative writing if you take some additional classes. Our literature concentration is also the concentration you would pick if you are looking at another major and thinking, I just love English and I want to do more with it. So if you are a pre-med, for instance, if you are looking at the College of Engineering, but you're here because you also like reading, if you are interested in pre-law, but you want to be a poli-sci major with history, then the literature concentration gives you the most flexibility. We have a lot of classes in literature. We meet those classes at a wide variety of times. And so if you want that concentration that you tuck and weave into another major or set of majors, the literature concentration will be great for you. Any of those three concentrations, though, are going to get you where you want to go. Now, if you're interested in teaching public school, if you want to teach grades 7 through 12, then you are going into the language arts concentration. With the language arts concentration, you get yourself on that language arts bus, to be honest with you, and you ride it to the end. Your very last semester, you student teach, and by doing the language arts concentration at the end of 4 academic years, you are certified to teach public school in the state of Texas, grades 7 through 12. So you got a lot of stuff that you can do with us, so I see no reason why you shouldn't be an English major. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Like. That was a great presentation, a good intro to the English department. Next, we have Professor Keith Michener talking on behalf of the History Department. Oh, Dr. Michener, your mic. I think you're muted. You're still, there you go.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the preview for this fall semester. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our program in the Department of History. As far as what we offer, there are 2 degrees that are offered through the Department of History. There is what I like to refer to as a regular BA in history, and there's also the Secondary Education Certification BA. I'll talk about each of them in turn. As far as the regular BA is concerned, every student who majors in history is going to have to take our 2 surveys. That's 2 3-hour courses for a total of 6 hours each in world history and in United States history. Also, you're going to have to take a certain number of hours in upper level courses, 3,000, 4,000 level, junior, senior level courses. We divide our upper level courses into 3 different groups: United States history, European history, and non-Western history. And we offer courses in that area or that group in African, Asian, Latin American, and Middle Eastern history. Okay, so you have to take 18 hours altogether. You'll choose one of those groups, and then you'll take 4 courses in that one group, and in each of the 2 remaining groups, 1 course in each. That's only 18 hours out of the 42 that you are required to take for a BA at at UNT. And so that leaves a lot of room for just about anything you want to do. You have plenty of upper level hours for a double major. You have plenty of upper level hours for 1 or 2 minors or whatever. So you need to decide what you want to do with the degree. One thing that you can do is take more history courses if you're wanting to go to graduate school in history. But if you're wanting to prepare, for instance, for law school, you can take various courses to go with it, or you can double major. A popular double major with history, especially for people who are going on to law school, is with political science. But this allows you a lot of flexibility to prepare for a career in a number of different fields, pretty much whatever you want to do. So that's the regular BA. Has a lot of room for you to tailor it however you want. The secondary education BA, like as was explained for English, when you finish with this degree program and you pass the certification test for the state of Texas, you'll be prepared and qualified to teach at the secondary level in public schools in Texas. Now, there's a little bit of a difference as far as the structure of this degree is concerned. You do have to take the 2 surveys as you do with the regular BA. But in addition to those 2 surveys, you have to take the History of Texas course. And you also have to take a course called Social Studies Teaching Methods. Okay, those and all of those courses you have to take. The courses from which you can choose are where you have a choice. Once again, the 3 groups, US, European, non-Western. But this time you have to take 3 courses in one of them and 2 courses in each of the other 2. So that that's a difference of a split of 4-1-1 for the regular BA, 3-2-2 for the secondary education BA. You do not have as much room in the secondary education program for courses you might want to take that would be outside of that as you do with the regular BA. However, you have to take quite a few education courses. And also, like explained with English, your last year, you'll have an observation period, usually during the fall semester of your senior year, and then you have to student teach that final semester. But like I said before, you'll be prepared to take the certification exams, and you will then be able to teach at the public schools in the state of Texas. Okay, so those are the 2 basic programs that we have. We offer a broad selection of different courses. We have military history courses. We have body, place, identity courses. That's a specialty in our department. We offer courses in English history, German history. I'm a naval historian, and so I offer courses in World War II in particular. We have a European theater specialist, and I'm the Pacific theater specialist for World War II. So there's all sorts of courses that we offer that will meet whatever interests you have, but either professional or just as far as your personal interests are concerned, to fill in electives and other degree programs. So that's basically how our program works. And we feel that we have enough of a variety to be able to offer just about anything you might want. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Michener. Thank you for presenting for the Department of History. Next, we have the Department of World Languages with Professor Leticia Knight. Thank you, Leticia.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I am really excited to tell you a little bit more about the Department of World Languages, Literatures, and Cultures. We teach classes and offer minors in 8 different languages. So we have Arabic, Chinese, French, German, Italian, Latin, Japanese, Russian studies, and Asian studies as well. So if you're interested in majoring in a language, we offer 3 bachelors of arts in French, German, and Japanese, and a master's degree in French as well. So we have quite a few options for you to choose from. And I know that some students are already interested in majoring in a language, but I want you to keep this in mind as well. Even if you're not coming to UNT thinking about majoring or minoring in a language. Because if you're coming here to major within the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, chances are you will have to study a language anyways. So usually students have to take the first 4 semesters of a foreign language. And so at that point, it only takes 2 or 3 advanced courses to complete a minor in a foreign language. So it's definitely worth, pushing through and take a few more classes to get that minor. We have, for those students that are interested in majoring in French, we do have a new grad track option. This allows students to complete some graduate courses during their last year of undergraduate studies. So you're basically able to complete the master's degree faster. It counts for both the undergrad and the graduate degree. This is an option that is available for students that are doing really well in their French courses. So if this is something that you're interested, definitely keep it in mind, because often students come just thinking that they're going to do a bachelor's degree, and then they might stay just 1 more year and finish the master's as well. In terms of certification, we do have a professional French certification and a Japanese language certifications that we offer in our department. This is just a little bit more than the minor, so sort of like an in-between the minor and the major. So if you're not quite ready to commit for the major, because we do offer a lot of professional courses in the languages that we have, not just in French, but in other languages as well. We want to make sure that students that want to study a language, but not necessarily because they want to teach the language, will also benefit from those courses. So things like business French, or German business, or even French for tourism, or a course that will be specific for science majors. So things like that we want to include to make sure that our students will have interesting classes to choose from, depending on what they are curious about. So whether it's literature or culture, or even the grammar or linguistics. And so languages are something that really will pair up well with other majors, whether you're interested in history, philosophy, English, Spanish, even integrative studies or international studies. We notice that a lot of our students are wanting to add that double major or that minor in a language. And it makes sense, because if you think about it, by adding a language to your degree, you're also opening up your job market. So later on, after you graduate, if you want to work in a foreign country and you know how to speak that language, then you have double the opportunities in terms of jobs. So as part of your degree, when you come to the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, you'll have about a third of your hours that will be in a core curriculum, and another third or so that will be in your major. So think about what you're going to do about the other third, all the hours that you can choose from. You can do random electives, or you can pick up 1 or 2 minors, or a double major. So this is really, I think, something that you want to keep in mind for foreign languages, because I think it will really open up your horizons and your job opportunities after you graduate. If you have any knowledge of the languages that we offer, we do have a placement test that you can take as soon as you get to UNT. It covers the first 4 semesters. So even if you don't have any AP or IB credit, you can take that placement test. The placement test is free. And if you get credit out of it, you just have to pay $53. So it's a really good deal. And then once you've gotten some credit, then you just take a few more classes, and then you can minor or major in a language. So why would you want to double major in a foreign language? I mentioned that, of course, it opens up your opportunities after you graduate in terms of jobs, but it's also important for cross-cultural competencies. So we talk a lot about global awareness and global perspectives. So knowing, how other cultures work and how other people live around the world, I think, is really important. In our courses, we also teach you how to think critically and analytically about different aspects of the culture and the language. So it's not just about learning the language, but you're learning about the culture. You're learning how to work with other students. You are working in pairs. You are learning about communication. So you're touching on a lot of those very important marketable skills that will be useful in the future for your career. And then in terms of study abroad opportunities, I think we'll have another slide at some point. But if you're interested in studying abroad, we can definitely look into that. We have a lot of options that you can choose from at UNT. And what we usually do before the students go in a foreign country is we sort of look at all the courses that they can take abroad. And we see how they're going to transfer back at UNT and how they're going to apply to your minor or your major. And most of the time, students, if they go in the summer or in a semester, you're not going to be behind. So it's going to fit in your degree, and then you're still going to be able to graduate on time. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Knight. We got a lot of information that we need for world languages. Next, we're going to have Professor Emily Thurman speaking on the Department of Spanish.
Thank you, Robin, and good morning to everyone. We're so happy to have you join us. So my name is Dr. Thurman, and I'm the undergraduate advisor for the Spanish department. I'll probably be piggybacking a little bit on some of the information that was presented by Professor Knight, but in the Spanish department, we do offer a BA in Spanish, and we also offer a BA with an all-level teaching certification for students that are interested in going into education. With this certification, you'll see that it has in the title all levels. So you will be able to teach at all levels from elementary up to secondary education. We've noticed this trend with our majors that a lot of students will come in with IB credit or dual credit, or as Professor Knight mentioned, they may take our placement exam and have the opportunity to test out of the first 12 hours of language classes. And so students are able to start at the advanced level. And this puts students at a great advantage because we've seen this trend where students decide to do a double major with Spanish and various other studies. So they may include international studies or journalism, criminal justice or anthropology, even biology. So we've had this growing trend, which is wonderful, in seeing the needs of our community and seeing students that want to serve those needs of our community. So actually about 40% of our majors in the department have decided to do a double major with Spanish and another field, which is wonderful. Our department also offers a certificate in professional Spanish, so that if you maybe were not interested in a major and wanted to have something a little bit more focused, similar to a minor, the certificate in professional Spanish includes 12 hours at the advanced level. And our professions courses offer a variety of specific fields that may assist you or help you out with the area that you have and your interest in the future for your job. So some of the fields that we do offer include the medical professions. We have a course that focuses on social services, one also that covers mass media, hotel and restaurant management. Those are just some of the courses that have a focus on a specific professional field. In the department, we also offer a grad track program because we do have an MA program in Spanish as well for our students. So if you are interested in continuing your studies into a master's degree, students do have the opportunity to earn 12 credit hours at the graduate level during their senior year. Our department also places a lot of emphasis on the importance of studying abroad, because we know that's the best way to learn a language is to immerse yourself. And if you have the opportunity to travel, it really benefits your cultural knowledge, appreciation, interaction with the language. And so we have 3 different study abroad programs that we offer. One takes place in Cusco in Peru, the other in Valencia in Spain, and then also in Costa Rica. So students are able to earn credit with these study abroad programs, and those credits can be applied to a minor in Spanish as well as the major in Spanish. So thank you.
Thank you, Professor Thurman, for giving us information about the Spanish department. Next, we have social science, and Counselor Katie Crow is going to tell us a little bit about the social sciences and integrative studies majors.
Good morning, everybody. So I want to extend a welcome to UNT as well. I'm an alum myself of the history department, so I wholeheartedly believe in our humanities majors. So I'm going to talk about 3 different majors that we offer. Social science, we have 2 options. We have a Bachelor of Arts in Social Science, which, as Dr. Mitchner was saying earlier, is kind of like the regular social science or more general social science major. So this is very customizable. It allows you to kind of choose your own adventure among the different social science topics. So anthropology, economics, geography, history, philosophy, political science, psychology, social work, and sociology. So it's a 48-hour major. You choose one of these topics as your sort of primary concentration. You do 18 hours in that one area. The other 30 hours of the major need to be made up of at least 2 other areas of social science. So for example, if my primary interest is anthropology, I'll do 18 hours in anthropology, and maybe the other 30 hours I will kind of mix in some political science and some philosophy. The social science major gives you a lot of really awesome marketable skills, just like all of our humanities majors. So it gives you a good understanding of individuals, groups, and cultural behaviors and different perspectives. Great soft skills like oral and written communications, research, problem solving, critical thinking. These are those kinds of transferable skills that employers are looking for that are more difficult for them to train you on. So they can teach you how to use a specific computer program for a specific job, but what they don't have the time and as much ability to teach you is critical thinking skills. So they want you to learn these things before you apply for that job. So the social science is an awesome way to do that.
Okay.
All right, so our other social science major is social science with a secondary teaching certification. So this is for anybody who is wanting to teach history, political science, economics, geography, psychology, sociology, in grades 7 through 12 in public schools. So the advantage of this major is that while you can major in history with a teaching certification, that only certifies you to teach history. This certifies you to teach all of these areas. So history and economics and government and all of them. So when you graduate, you are certified to do all of these. The primary focus of the major, the bulk of it is going to be those history classes. So you do the 2 surveys that Dr. Mitchner was mentioning earlier, world history and American history. Everyone who is going to be a teacher in the state of Texas has to do Texas history. And then you do 3 advanced courses in history. You do your political science, including an advanced American political science. You do your micro and macro econ, as well as an advanced course, 12 hours in geography, and then general psychology and an intro to sociology. And then, of course, at the end, you have your teaching methods course, which will be the semester before you do your student teaching. So tacked on to all of this is also your education courses and your observation, your student teaching process. All right, and finally, we want to talk about integrative studies. So integrative studies, we actually offer both a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science. The biggest difference between the two, there are several differences, but the biggest difference is that with the Bachelor of Arts, you have to do a foreign language, 12 semesters of a foreign language. With the Bachelor of Science, you do not have to do a foreign language. So that tends to be the determining factor for a lot of students in choosing one or the other. So kind of like our social science major, this is a degree that you can tailor to your own plan and your own unique goals. It is not really an undecided major. So this is not necessarily the best place to go if you just don't know what you want to major in. Of course, if you come to us saying, I'm not really sure what I want to do, we will certainly help you. But the way integrative studies works best is if you kind of have an idea of what career umbrella you want to be under. So not necessarily a specific job title, but at least a general idea of, a realm that you want to work in. So I want to be in a helping profession, or I want to work in business. And then you kind of work backwards from there. So you will choose 3 fields of study, and each of those fields will have 12 hours or 4 courses in them. You have to do 1 field of study from within the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, but you can choose other areas from other colleges at UNT. So you could do something from the G. Brent Ryan College of Business. You could do a field from our College of Health and Public Service, or our College of Merchandising, Hospitality, and Tourism. So this is an awesome way for students to really put together a unique degree to gain skills that they might not necessarily gain by only studying one of those areas. So it can be very, very marketable. Students often ask, well, what career can I get? What kind of job can I get with this major? That's the wrong question. The correct question is, what do you want to do? What career do you want to go in? And let's work backwards from there to help you get to that goal. We have students that go into a lot of different careers. We even have students that go into medical school and different health professions. We have students that go on to grad school in a variety of areas. So it's really a great major for, shaping it to what you want to do. And we really encourage you to do a lot of that career exploration and investigation on the front end, rather than waiting until you're about to graduate and need a job and then doing it. So that really helps us shape it to what you're wanting to do.
Thank you, Katie. That was a great presentation and an introduction to integrative studies and social science. The last part of our presentation is just more or less for preparation when you're coming to UNT. Definitely during your senior year, continue with your math, your sciences, and foreign language courses. But be careful about overloading with the dual credit courses. Often when students come to UNT, they may be core complete, or they may be thinking they're ready to start their major, but oftentimes they don't do as well because there's not much of a transition period between high school and the 4-year university. So we usually recommend that students have some room to take their lower level courses at UNT, so that they can transition to some of their upper level courses in their major. Definitely you can sign up for AP classes and take the exams. And you can take UNT's foreign language placement exam when you get here if you'd like. For $53, you can get up to 12 hours of placement credit, which would take you through the intermediate level 2 if you place out of all of your foreign language. You are required to do 4 semesters of a language through any BA program at UNT, and most of the humanities majors will be BA programs that would require you to take 4 semesters of a language. And then if you get here and you decide later on that you want to take some other classes and you've already done your AP work, you could do the CLEP work, which is a college level placement test. So if you have some courses that you'd still wanted to take credit by exam, you could always do the CLEP tests when you get here. Okay, so I think that concludes most of our presentation. If you have questions, the chat is available. Dr. Light also will provide some of her links if you have questions outside of this presentation. But otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Winston to let us know how we're going to conclude. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Winston.
Thank you, Robin. I would like to invite any of our preview guests, any of our students who are interested in the humanities majors. First of all, you're in the right spot because the humanities are where it's at. To that end, I posed a question earlier in the chat that I would like for our faculty advisors to kind of address while we're recording, because you guys have, as I completely expected, you knocked it out of the park with your answers. The question is that for many of us, particularly in our high school years, and also in like if we're transfer students coming from community colleges, a lot of times students are being pushed towards, college is not getting any cheaper. As such, you need a return on investment. So a lot of parents, advisors, people will push students into majors that are considered practical or profitable. And 9 times out of 10, as an admissions counselor, I find students are being led into the STEM fields. So for my faculty advisors, my question was, could you speak to the benefits of choosing a major in the humanities to kind of help debunk this myth that, if you major in English, you're somehow less profitable or less marketable than a student who's a computer scientist? And I'd like to start, Dr. Like, if you're still with us, I really liked your commentary. So if you wouldn't mind putting it vocally.
You're muted, Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike.
Skills. Okay, so most professional schools are going to teach you what you need to know in your profession. So let's say that you are interested in medicine. There is a pre-med track, and there are a set of classes you have to apply to every med school in the state of Texas. So for instance, if you are interested in med school, you would take a look at all of the med schools in Texas, look at their list, but none of them require that you have a biology major or a chem major. They just ask that you have a bachelor's degree and a set of classes. So you will need to have a real general skill set moving into med school, but they need you to be able to think. And that's the piece that when you hit med school, you hit the ground running, and they're not going to pull you back and say, okay, can you read well? Can you make these connections? Can you write well? They're going to assume that you can do all that. Law school, same thing. You can go to law school with any major, and they're going to teach you what you need to know. Your first year in law school is all about reading briefs, learning the vocabulary, learning how to communicate with that vocabulary. But if you have not already gone through all the challenging pieces of being a good, close reader and being able to untangle complicated text, same thing. You're going to be dead in the water if you get into law school. Any of the other professions you're looking at, some of our students go to occupational therapy school, some go to physical therapy school. If you're interested in being a physician's assistant, so many of those professions do require that you have a bachelor's degree and a set of classes that, again, like I said, lay the foundation. But if you many times, if you only take those classes and you don't fill in with the liberal arts types of thinking, reading, mulling things over piece, you could have a lot of technical skill going in, but once the professional school asks you to to apply that, or to solve a problem, or to take one piece and connect it to another piece. Again, you could have all the technical skills and really know your organic chemistry, but if you don't have all the critical thinking skills back there, you're going to struggle. So you don't need, bottom line is that for most professional schools, med schools, OT, PA, PT schools, you don't need the STEM major. You need a set of classes, but to excel, you need the thinking skills to get you through that. So.
Thank you so much, Dr. White. That was so well put. And I always, as a humanities person myself, I'm always like, how do I vocalize how to defend it? So it's a skill, it's a life for our students. It's a skill you will continue to develop. Again, the ability to think and the ability to communicate your thoughts effectively, orally and written, in written communication. It's absolutely essential. Dr. Knight, would you mind going next with why humanities are valuable?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I will echo what Dr. Like said about those skills, those marketable, transferable skills. I think that you also have to keep in mind that you don't have to stop at one major, or, if you're interested in chemical engineering, which probably none of you right now, since this is a humanities majors presentation, but you can still major in chemical engineering and double major in the humanities, or at least minor in the humanities, just so that you are more well-rounded. Because if you're going to be so technical in one field, you can get a job in that field, but it doesn't mean that you are going to succeed in your job, because you will need those communication skills, this teamwork skills, and so on, that we teach you in our classes. So we do see that a lot of our majors nowadays will go into a variety of careers. And I think we had that career map at some point, Robin, as well in the presentation. Right now, for our language majors, we have students that are studying Japanese and engineering because they want to work for Toyota, for example. We also have students that are doing French and business because they want to work in the business world, but they want to be able to use their French knowledge and also the communication skills that we're teaching them, those problem solving skills. And these are things that employers really value. I think Katie was the one who mentioned that. I don't have the actual data, but I can probably find it. Nowadays, employers are really looking for people that have those critical thinking skills, that are able to adapt to the different jobs, that are able to learn fast. I mentioned in the chat, I think you probably all know Mark Cuban, if you're from around here, the owner of the Mavericks, the Dallas Mavericks team. He was the one who talked about it and said that the future in hiring is in liberal arts. Because he said, I don't think it's necessarily business majors or STEM majors that I want to recruit, that I want to hire, because these people are very technical, but they don't know how to adapt or adjust to different situations. And so I know that those liberal arts majors, they're the one that you can throw into a situation and they'll figure out how to make it work. So I think those are important skills that we teach you in our classes, whatever major you choose in the humanities, that will make you a well-rounded person and a very thought after future employee.
Thank you so much, Dr. Knight. Are there any other thoughts on that question from anybody else? Lori, I loved what I loved your point of curiosity creates opportunities, which is a major trait of most humanities students.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to link on to what Dr. Knight said, a lot of studies show that the CEOs of major companies, be it technical or not, tend to be liberal arts majors. They might go on and get their MBA or something like that, but their foundation of their learning started with a liberal arts degree, and it just continues to build. I would say, well, I think all of us continue to hopefully will stay students of or lovers of learning throughout. And I think humanities students especially just have that curiosity of pulling from the past, pulling from different cultures, pulling from the written language, and just learning from so many different perspectives that those transferable skills just serve them so well. So yeah. That's what I tell my students all the time. Being curious about why things work and how they work and who you work with just does create those opportunities. People see that passion for learning and they're like, they're teachable. I can teach them those other skills. Like Dr. Like said, they'll teach you the other parts. They can't teach you to be passionate about learning.
Wonderfully said.
Also, obviously, I'm passionate about learning. So sorry.
We're with our people right now. This is great. A question for our academic advisors while I'm waiting for somebody to type a question into the chat. As advisors, what is your advice for that first generation college student, or even that transfer student who kind of they have experience with registration and all that? But what kinds of advice would y'all recommend for any prospective student coming to UNT because they're going to have to come through your doors. So what is some advice that y'all have for your students?
I'd say that for the most part, don't fear coming to us. You know, some people are like, oh no, the academic advisor, and they may be a little bit intimidated. But we're here to help you. We're here to help you navigate your career, your student career, help you find resources. So if you feel like you're getting lost in the system, an academic advisor can recommend things or recommend places for you to go so that you can get the help that you need. We help you plan out your 4 years here at UNT or beyond if you wanted to talk about certificates or post-grad studies. We have a lot of knowledge about that. We try to make sure that you follow a timely plan so that you can get out when you want to get out. We help you kind of navigate the waters between a double major if you're interested in that. We give you a lot of good solid information on how to talk to your instructors, what if you are having problems navigating the waters or you have a semester that isn't going as well, we can help you figure out what your next steps will be. So definitely get in touch with your academic advisor. If you're not even sure where to start, we can help you start. We can help you find the next steps for your academic career.
I would like to add that, you know, coming into a four-year university like UNT, if you're coming from a community college, it's going to be different. The classroom setting is going to be different. If you're coming from high school, it's going to be different than high school. So, you know, reach out to your professors. Actually go to their office hours and talk to them. I'm sure our faculty in our session can tell you they're not going to bite. So don't be afraid to go talk to them and get to know them and ask questions. And of course, always come to your advisors as well. But, and also don't be shocked and don't feel like, oh, I'm failing if it's hard that first semester or the first couple of semesters, if it's harder than you were expecting, because, you know, it's college. College is not easy. So it's going to take a little bit of a learning curve. So, you know, use the resources that are available to you, you know, not just the faculty and the advisors, but our learning center and, you know, all the other resources that are available to you on campus.
I would say we help break down a challenge. You know, college is going to be, quote, harder or just more challenging. And it's just helping you break it down. I always tell people the only wrong question is the one that's not asked.
Mm-hmm.
So no question that's asked is a wrong one. If it helps you move forward in your academic career, then ask it. We'll be there to answer it.
Excellent. And that is the best place to end. Never do not be afraid to ask for help. If you learn nothing from this, do not be afraid to ask for help. We all thank you so much for my panelists. Thank you so much for being here, sharing your knowledge and your passion for what we do every day. For our students, you might have seen in the chat room that we have a couple folks who are able to give you some more, a little bit more attention. So you can click on their Zoom links here in just a moment. But for the rest of us, thank you all for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your preview, and we'll look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Cool. Thank you all. We are ending for all. Thank you all so much.